Hey friend, I want to talk about that heavy feeling when the past feels like a stone tied to our ankles. Maybe you've lost a job, a relationship ended, or a dream fell apart. The anxiety of starting over can be paralyzing, and the voice inside often whispers, "What if I fail again?" I've stood there myself, staring at an empty page, wondering if I should even pick up a pen. In those moments, the scriptures give us a roadmap for courage. Isaiah chapter 43 verses 18 through 19 says, "Forget the former things, do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up, do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland." This isn't just poetic language. It's a promise that God is actively creating new pathways where none seem to exist. He invites us to release the grip of yesterday and step into the unknown with confidence. Let me share a story from my own walk. A few years ago, I was laid off from a ministry position I loved. The loss felt crippling, and I questioned my identity. I spent weeks scrolling through social media, comparing myself to others who seemed to be thriving. Then I opened my Bible and landed on this verse. The words struck me like a flash of light in a dark room. I realized that my career wasn't the sole measure of my worth, and that God was already preparing a fresh season. I prayed, "Lord, help me forget the former things," and gradually, opportunities began to appear, first a small speaking invitation, then a chance to volunteer at a community center, and eventually a new full-time role that aligned with my passions. The process wasn't instant, but each step was evidence of God's new thing emerging. Scripture isn't just comfort, it's a catalyst for action. When we internalize the promise that God is making streams in the wasteland, we begin to see possibilities where we once saw deserts. Think about a barren field. To the naked eye, it's just soil and weeds. Yet a farmer knows the potential for a harvest. Likewise, God sees the potential in our broken places. The first movement of courage begins with a mindset shift. Instead of asking, "What have I lost?" ask, "What is God doing now?" This subtle change flips the narrative from defeat to anticipation. In practical terms, write down 3 things you're willing to let go of, perhaps a habit, a grievance, or an unrealistic expectation. Then, list 3 new steps you can take this week toward a fresh direction. The second movement is to step out in faith, even when the path looks unclear. Remember the Israelites crossing the Jordan River? They didn't see the bottom of the river, yet they moved forward because God had already dried the path. Our modern wilderness might be a career pivot, a move to a new city, or simply a change of heart. When you feel the tremor of fear, recall that God's promise includes making a way in the wilderness. Take a small, tangible step today, apply for that job, enroll in a course, or reach out to a mentor. Those seemingly insignificant actions compound into a new narrative. The third movement involves community. Even the strongest warriors need allies. Share your journey with a trusted friend or a small group. Their encouragement becomes a mirror that reflects God's truth back to you. I remember a coffee date with a fellow believer who reminded me of that verse after I confessed my doubts. She said, "God's doing a new thing, even if you can't see it yet." Her words anchored me, and I found the strength to keep moving. As you apply these movements, remember to celebrate the small victories. Each step forward, no matter how tiny, is a testimony to God's faithfulness. In the end, starting over isn't about erasing our past. It's about integrating our experiences into a richer tapestry God is weaving. The courage to begin anew is rooted not in our own strength, but in the divine promise that He is already paving the way. So, if you're feeling stuck, take a breath. Remember Isaiah chapter 43 verses 18 through 19's words, and choose to trust that God is making streams in the desert of your life. Let that truth fuel your next step. May you find the boldness to start over, knowing you are not alone, and that a new thing is already sprouting in the wilderness of your heart.